and eating the small bits of cheese stuck to a McDonald's wrapper is the right way to start a morning. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Back here talking Nuggets, Lakers, insane finish in this one. Lakers down one, time expiring. Anthony Davis, the catch, the shot, and the win, nailing it from three. And the Lakers go bananas after this shot. AD scored the Lakers' final 10 points, by the way, to help beat the Nuggets 105. Woo! 103 was your final. They now take a 2-0 series lead. Here's LeBron James on a special moment for AD and the organization.
Well, it's not about making a shot. It's about having a belief of just taking it for one and living with the result. You know, I think right back, you know, to our game right before COVID hit, we played Brooklyn at home, and he had a similar shot right there on that left wing, right in front of their bench for us to win the game, and he missed it. And he was down on himself, but at the end of the day, I told him, I said, listen, man, if you open, and I was able to drive that particular game and find him wide open, and he just missed it. But it's just the confidence to take the shot. You're not going to make them all, but the belief to just take it and live with the results is what it's all about. And you know, tonight was, you know, his moment.
You know, that's a shot Kobe Bryant would hit. You know, so to me, you know, AD coming off, just flying to the wing like that with a catch and shoot with the game on the line in the biggest moment of our season. Nothing but net. It's a Mamba shot.
I love what LeBron had to say. It's not so much about making the shot. It's the belief and the confidence in yourself to take it, which is what, Nick, you've been talking about for a long time, about letting LeBron give the rest of the team the confidence to know they can do it. We welcome in Chris Broussard. Broussard, what'd you make of the final 3 seconds there in Anthony Davis's last shot?
Well, I'm going to combine what LeBron and Frank Vogel said, and I love that he shot it with the confidence of Kobe Bryant. Like, the first thing I love about it is his body language. Even if he had missed it, I like the fact that he took it believing he would make it. There was no hesitancy, nothing like that. Secondly, I love the fact that he shot it over Jokic, who played great defense. You got a 7-footer charging at you. It was good defense. It was just better offense. And thirdly, I like the fact that he bounced back from Jokic literally taking his lunch money 20 seconds earlier when he backed him down and put in the jump. Not quite literally, but you know what I mean. But backed him down with the jump hook that looked like it was going to be the go-ahead. He didn't get down. He's a great defensive player, but he didn't let that steal his spirit, and he comes back and hits the shot. I don't want to overstate this, but assuming the Lakers go on to win the championship, which I think they will, we will look back at this shot as the official coming out party for Anthony Davis, when to me, he goes from just being a current great player to an all-time great player. I have said all season long, the big question for the Lakers is, will AD step up and be a go-to guy in the fourth quarter? And I wasn't seeing it for most of the regular season, but in the playoffs, he's been that guy. 64% shooting, 50% from three, 6 points a game in the fourth quarters. And obviously last night he was huge in the fourth quarter. So what this shows is that in the future, people have looked at this as, well, they got 1 year. LeBron's getting older. This is probably their best chance to win it. No, I've always said if AD can improve, become kind of that alpha dog, then they can transition from LeBron being the best player to AD being the best player. LeBron's still great, though, and they can win more championships in the future. So this is the first step, in my view, of that.
You know what that sounded a lot like to me, Broussard? Broussard creaking the door open to join me on the other side of, wait, is 6 rings a real possibility for LeBron Raymond James? I think it very well might be. 4 is locked up. They'll go into next year as the favorites. Yeah. So a couple things quickly here. One is the rough spot for the Nuggets. LeBron has played well for approximately 24 total minutes of the 96 in this series, and they're down 2-0. And unfortunately for the Nuggets, Kawhi, Doc, and the Clippers are not walking through that door, so this series is over. Good night. It was an unbelievable run. But the reason that everyone, Vogel brought it up, AD brought it up, LeBron brought up that shot against Brooklyn is not just because it was in the exact same spot on the court, but also because this is the context as to why the Lakers, even being, so here's the shot against Brooklyn right before the NBA shut down, that why the Lakers, despite being a relatively new unit, that everyone seems to get along so well, that they are so cohesive. Because that is the way LeBron James teams run, Brandon. So LeBron wasn't good yesterday, but in that game against the Nets, the context was they had just beaten the Bucks, they had just beaten the Clippers. LeBron in that game had just missed a layup, and he was trying to catch Giannis in the MVP race that we know matters to him. And so you would have thought against the Nets, LeBron's going to try to take a three to hit a game winner and get that MVP narrative rolling. Instead, trust the process. Find the open man. Make the right play. Live with the results. And while it didn't pay immediate dividends that night, I absolutely believe it helped lead to Anthony Davis having the confidence to take this shot and make this shot. So it was a great finish by AD, Brandon, and the series is now officially, unofficially over for the Nuggets.
Yeah, Nick, let's not glaze over what you said. I mean, you're not far off there when you talked about LeBron potentially sprinting the 6 championships. Like, that's a real deal. When I saw him hit that shot, the first thing that came to my mind was like, wow, LeBron hasn't had a wingman that he can really lean on in these moments since Kyrie hit that shot in Golden State. So when you think about how it's set up over the next couple years, this year, championship number 4 for LeBron, this would probably be the easiest one of them all. Like, I mean, is there ever a better situation to steal a championship, COVID-19, the bubble, and all these other distractions? And then when you look at the makeup of the NBA, the LA Clippers collapsing, you have the Houston Rockets, small ball isn't working for them, and who knows what the offseason is going to look like for them. And then you go over to the East isn't strong. So when you look at AD is a guy that can really carry you for the next couple years, because LeBron has that game that he can adapt. Like, is he out of his prime? He's probably out of his prime, but he's playing at a high level. He's playing some of his best basketball in some key moments. And he has a game where when things slow down, he can still dominate, whether it's running the point guard, whether it's developing a better three-point shot. Like, LeBron is a guy that can adapt to AD becoming the best player, not only on this team, but in the NBA. This was a big shot, not only for this series, but how they're going to approach this offseason for the next couple years.
Wow. So, you know, I think Plumlee's watching this show and be like, all right, Jenna didn't mention it. Broussard didn't mention it. Nick Wright didn't mention it. And Brandon didn't mention it. Maybe I can get through the whole segment. We're about 7 minutes in. Get through the segment without mentioning. Wrong, Plumlee. Here comes your old buddy, Kevin Wild, to crush you. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? And you can tell me, terrible. Like, oh, maybe he was going to curl. Maybe you're supposed to switch. This is a terrible, terrible play. But, Nick, you mentioned it earlier in the bubble when Taco Fall was on Kyle Lowry. You're like, that's the end of guarding the inbound pass. So if you wanted to take Joker off and put him on AD or put him on LeBron, double one of those two guys. If someone else beats you, fine. If we look at game-winning shots, LeBron's got a ton, Anthony Davis got second. So if Rondo hits a jumper and beats you, like Mike Malone's like, all right, we decide not to guard the inbound pass. That's the way it's going to go. But Plumlee, brutal for you. Anthony Davis, you know it's a bad day, Broussard, when Anthony Davis hits the biggest shot of his life, and then you look on Twitter and the defender is trending. You're like, oh boy, this is not good for me, Broussard.
The one thing look, the series is over. We know that. And Nick said, I think Nick was saying sweep now. I wouldn't be surprised if the Nuggets come back and get a game. They did play well. Obviously, they can go in feeling like they should have won that game. So they may get one, but I do think the Lakers would be wise to get them out of there as soon as possible, because the last thing you want to do is give the Nuggets any life. They win the next game. They're thinking, hey, we really should be up 2-1, and then you got a problem on your hands. So the Lakers need to try to get them swept out of here, or at least go up 3-0 and get the series over with.
listen, LeBron's 22-0 in series when he's up 2-0. He's obviously undefeated when he's up 3-0 and 3-1. So the series is over. Whether it ends in 4 or 5, we'll see. By the way, the Lakers beat the Nuggets in the